do you think Uncle Lulu is still alive? And what is how is if he does recover, how do you see him reacting to what has happened? If he does make a recovery from it. So I'll go to you first, Dana. What do you think?
Always me. I honestly don't know. I'm Jen. That's why I was making the faces because I'm torn right now. I have two conflicting thoughts. One is that this is something that was so terrible and horrific that you would want to get completely out of the game, right? But if you go back on the whole Michael Corleone quote that he gave the Hollywood Reporter, Michael was way deep into the game at this point. Remember, he was the smart, calculated one, while Fredo was busy running around ratting out on people and showing his behind. He was the calculated one who always had the plans and knew how to set the paces and knew what to do. So, with that being said, he could easily be the one who, if he does live, he retaliates. But he retaliates smartly, not just, I'm going to go and shoot up your house like a crazy person who don't have neighbors. He can do it in a way that's really smart, and he can make it hurt. And I don't mean by hurt as in physical pain, but you know how you come after someone else. See, that's him right now. Sorry.
Oh, that's the fire department, right? They're coming to save Lulu.
Sorry. So, basically, he can do this very smart, where it's not going away. I'm so sorry, but he can do this very smart, where he finds a way to get back at Joey. Well, the unique, and so that will actually cripple him in his business. Or you could say that he'll just completely walk away. But if you put on the writer's hat and even the viewer's hat, that's not really something that you want. You don't want someone to say, peace out, I'm gone, bye. You want that more tension and that drama in the story to build. And I do feel that Unique right now is the role of Wesley Snipes in New Jack City. Nico, was it Nico? I can't remember. I seen that 1,000 years ago.
Nino.
Nino. I was somewhat close.
Nino Brown.
Nino Brown. So you see him kind of as like that big Nino Brown, or you could even say Omar a little bit, where he's like the big of that block. He's considered the big great one, right? With the grandma who can actually hear everything. So you would want him to live so that he can get that downfall that he's basically wishing upon others. Because remember that last monologue that he gave, that he said at the table, remember they was at that diner, was this is gonna be Raquel's great downfall. I think that could be shadowing his downfall. That whole thing of what you wish upon other people is actually what's gonna happen to you. So I would want him to live, and I would want him to retaliate, but smartly. So that's my answer.
Okay. Yeah, interesting take there. And how about you, Richard? How do you see this panning out with Lulu?
I think Lulu will survive. When this all happened, I think part of me was thinking about, I don't like to compare, but I am going to compare in this instance. Part of me was thinking about Power Book 2 Ghost, and they had Drew on that show, who was another character that, something happened to the character that made you think, oh, well, maybe he won't survive. When they had the shootout at the bar, it made you think, oh, this character is probably not gonna survive. But then we found out he was okay. I think they maybe thought something similar they could do with another character on this show, make you believe the character, suffered tragedy, but the thing is that, and I mean, yes, you can get taken out at any point in this game. We know that already, but I kind of feel like this character, he still has to get some type of retaliation, because the way that they had the last episode, and the fact that he was going back and forth with Unique and the other guy, his other friend, I believe his name is Worrell. You want to see a payoff of him getting payback on these guys. So it would be kind of bittersweet to not see him get that payback if they just killed him off. That's why I said I don't believe that he's dead. And again, to allude to what I mentioned earlier about that whole scene they had in this episode where he actually stole Unique's jacket.
Yeah.
We didn't really get any further progression on that. And I was trying to wonder if Unique has even acknowledged that. Maybe that was one of the other reasons why he decided, well, we're going to go after this guy Lulu tonight. I mean, I have no idea because I didn't, because I rewatched the episode. I didn't see anything in there to allude them mentioning that he did that and how what Unique's reaction was. So
I
yeah,
really, I would like to be a fly on the wall when he realizes his jacket's missing. Like that would be hilarious. I
yeah,
want to see
yeah.
his reaction.
Hey, I would definitely like to know about that. But they, we know that at this point, this is a game where now people, right after he gave that warning to Lulu, Unique gave the warning to Lulu in the last episode. Now people are going to have to start to make moves. So he made a move in this episode. Lulu will probably, I don't know if he's going to be conscious again at the start of the next episode. It may be something that it's a little bit into the episode, but I definitely think he's fine. And they're going to have to try to work together, even though, Raquel does not really like Marvin right now. It's going to be very interesting to see how that interaction happens because, again, they are still family. But she told him that you're not going to be a part of the business. I'll be curious to see how that changes, but they have to work together to be successful. In the last part that I wanted to mention, and this is important as well, it feels as though now, Howard, Detective Howard, is now focused on Kanan in the situation with Raquel. It doesn't feel as though he's paying full attention to this ongoing war between Unique and Raquel, etc. And for that reason, this is when a lot of chaos, I think, is going to start to happen. What you saw with this whole incident here, because again, he's only thinking about, I need to talk to Kanan, and now I need, that's my son. We have to have a conversation, and Raquel has to abide by my rules. I don't think he's paying attention though to what's happening with Unique because we haven't seen him interact with Unique since that second episode.
Yeah.
So that's why, it's going to be very curious to see what happens now because things are going to start to escalate between both of those groups. So, but yeah, to answer your question though, Gary, I think Lulu's definitely alive and we'll see how things progress next.
Cool. Yeah, I also believe he is alive still. I think Marvin got to him just in time. So I think he'll make it. And like you mentioned, we do need to see what the payoff was of that jacket. Like they wouldn't just put that scene in there for no reason. Like there's something behind that. So yeah, I think he'll survive. But he might be, I don't know, he might be out for an episode. Like he might be, too weak. He might be trying to recover in the next episode, and we might not see him back in action until the last episode. And maybe that's when he decides what he's really gonna do, like what his, whether he's gonna like get out the game or whether he's gonna retaliate against Unique or something. I think that we'll find out in episode 10, the finale. But yeah, he's definitely gonna have to recover for a little bit, I think. And I'm sure everyone's gonna be concerned about him, Raquel, Kanan, Jukebox, everyone. So we'll probably see that in the next episode. And really the question is, how people will respond to Marvin. Like I mentioned earlier, like this might not be enough to excuse him for what he's done. So I want to, kind of see how they act towards Marvin, knowing what he's done and everything. Especially Raquel, she's already got a beef with him. So yeah, I want to see what that reaction is going to be.